Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Intoxicated Sports Report. That's Gates Samoji. I'm Emerson Hip. Are you ready to get it on today, my friend?
I am. Glad we didn't do it yesterday because we both weren't feeling good.
Yeah.
I wasn't hungover. I had a really bad migraine. You, on the other hand, were hungover.
Yes, I was.
From a long night of fog machining, Fritas, mountain bikes, which apparently is a bust.
Yeah. We'll give them a pass for now, but
Okay.
they need to get their shit together. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
So we promised today's episode will be better than what yesterday's would have been.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, that's probably why you're wondering why we haven't put one out, but we'll have this out for you tomorrow, or I guess it'll be Thursday at that point.
Yeah.
And
You have a new work schedule for the meantime.
For the meantime, yep.
Wednesdays are doable.
Wednesdays are off, yeah. Or Wednesdays are on for us.
Also, this is our third year doing this podcast.
Yes, third calendar year we're starting.
We've done it in 2020, 2021, 2022.
Yes, sir. Welcome to 2022.
Hey, just like COVID, you can't get rid of us. Sorry about it.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How was yours? We were kind of together for most of it.
Yeah, snuck out of work and got home like about 11:50.
Yeah.
Just in time for to kiss my shot glass.
It was a good time over here.
Yeah.
Old three-peat over at Dover for New Year's.
That's right. Yeah, it was a good time. Just another New Year. I'm definitely thankful for the neighbors that were shooting off fireworks. Added some entertainment.
That was pretty cool.
Those were fucking big and loud too.
Yeah.
They got some commercial grade shit over there.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know where they're getting their plug from.
Right.
They're plugged for their fireworks.
Yeah.
Also surprised, Dylan strikes me as a guy who would just have fireworks. Don't ask me why. He just seems like he would.
Fair enough, yeah.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed on that part.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, I'll have to mention it to him when I see him later
Really?
on.
Maybe
Like,
4th of July this year.
There you go. Hey, 4th of July, get some fireworks.
Yeah.
I know his dad could probably send him some from Idaho.
Right, there you go.
I'm just saying.
What else? It's a new year. What the fuck? I wrote 2022 on a check today. It felt weird.
There you go.
You know.
Rent check?
Yep.
There you go.
Paying late.
Classic.
Right. Just in time, actually. Yeah. What do we got going on today, sir?
Like always, we have our local sports. So big week in college football.
Yep.
One of the
All
biggest
big
weeks.
bowl games,
One of the biggest weeks you can have in college football. And of course, the NFL, the bulk of the show.
Yep.
Which
final week of the year coming up. The regular season, anyways.
The NFL.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fun segment.
I don't know how I'm gonna go at this. I'm still thinking about how I'm gonna go at it.
Fair enough.
I don't think I'm gonna rant. Okay. It's not gonna be Thanksgiving level rant.
Okay.
If I do have one, we'll see.
You were thinking that the other day.
Oh,
right?
dude. If you would have caught me right after that Cowboys Cardinals game, yeah, it would have been bad. But besides all that, local sports, your Warriors bounced back with a couple wins over the Jazz and the Heat after losing to the Nuggets.
We watched that game after last week's podcast.
Yes,
that was a good game.
That was a good game.
Warriors were down by a lot.
They were down by 20?
24 or something like that.
And of course, in classic Warriors fashion, at least.
I think they even took the lead for a little bit late in the game, or at least tied it. And then Denver came out in the end.
Jokic.
That was an ugly game.
Yeah, it was.
I think the Nuggets scored 29 points in the second half, actually.
The Warriors are 29-7, a half-game lead over Phoenix, the best record in the NBA, and they play Dallas tonight. And I wanted to mention tonight is the night we mentioned a couple months ago that they're retaring Dirk Nowitzki's number.
Oh, they're doing it tonight?
Yes.
Nice.
So let's hope the Warriors don't spoil that for Dirk and the Mavericks,
it's happening.
but they probably will.
Sorry, Dirkus.
I also want to mention real quick, give your boy a shout-out, Steph Curry, because he became the first player last week ever to score or have 3,000
threes. Yeah.
Which
was inevitable.
He'll probably,
just like breaking all those records.
He can probably get to 4.
I think so.
I think
yeah.
4 is doable.
4 is definitely doable. That'll probably take him like 3 more years to do. So.
Also, another congratulations, or soon-to-be congratulations, because Klay Thompson, your boy,
let's go,
is coming back on the
court.
court.
Wait, dude.
They're saying Sunday against the Cavs.
Yeah, that's most likely, but
which might be a good game for him to come back to, because the Cavs are trash.
Cavs are better than you think.
Are they?
I'm gonna make a mention of the Cavs later in the show. Yeah, Cavs are in the playoffs at this moment.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm also not gonna lie to you. I've watched very little basketball, like most Americans.
Yeah.
Because football's just been shoved down my throat.
It's been a good year for football.
Football's always king.
Yeah.
Football is always king.
Yeah, cannot wait for Klay. Should be fun. If he doesn't come back next week, I think they'll probably be targeting the 18th. But hopefully this Sunday.
Klay Thompson, everybody knows I'm not a big Warriors guy, but I've always liked Klay Thompson.
Hard to root against him.
Hard to root against him. In the past 2 seasons, he just got the shaft, like no one else has ever heard of, and he deserves to come back. And I think, hopefully it's a home game for the Warriors. I don't think it will be when he comes back.
Oh no, they're making sure it's a home game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's either going to be Sunday, which is at home, or they're going to wait till they have another homestand later in the month.
His first shot he shoots and makes has to be a 3. Because that place is going to erupt. It's
either that or like a fast break dunk.
That too.
Yeah. Real quick, we forgot to tell the folks what we're ringing in the new year with as far as beverage.
Look at us getting all excited.
I know. We're just so juiced about this new year.
I'm drinking White Claw Black Cherry.
I'm drinking.
It seems to be my drink of choice on the show.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much the same too with the Modelo.
Modelo.
So cheers to that.
Cheers.
Moving over to your Kings.
Yes.
They won 2 out of 4 games this week.
Okay.
Lost last night to the Lakers. A tough, close one, but.
Can I mention that real quick?
Yeah.
LeBron James needs to stop puffing his chest when he's playing the Kings. It's the Kings, okay?
Not an accomplishment.
No, it's why?
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a good game for him to, start, play really well, which he has been playing really, really well.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook didn't have a turnover in last night's game last night or 2 nights ago?
It was last night. Yeah.
For the first time
Ever.
Since the Obama administration, probably. So good for them, I guess. Actually, no, not good for them.
Yeah. Well, they did kind of. The Kings seemed to respond to Alvin Gentry's, press conference he had, winning 2 out of the next 3 games. Of course, last night was a tough one, but they'll be hosting Atlanta tonight. They're sitting 10th in the West, 16-23. So.
Also wanted to give shout out to LeBron James because he reached the 36,000 point milestone last week, I think, after we were done doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And he's the youngest player to reach that number clip. He's also the youngest to reach 1,000 through 36,000 for each one.
That's crazy.
Which doesn't really surprise us. And, a lot of people will be like, well,
He was actually the youngest to 1,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the youngest to every point, 1,000 total.
Well, I guess not a lot of guys were coming out of high school before him.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's what makes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's points record so impressive is because he played like 3 years of college.
Right.
LeBron came out of high school.
Yeah.
And so if LeBron didn't come out of high school, or at least he probably would have done 1 year of college.
Yeah, one and done.
And he probably would only have 35,000 right now, let's say. So, so shout out to LeBron. I'm the only guy on this show who shouts out LeBron, so someone needs to do it.
Fair enough. I mean, I respect LeBron's abilities. But
yes.
I'm
not like a homer.
The thing is,
I'm not like a big time fanboy. I respect the man.
I think the thing about LeBron is that he gets so much publicity naturally. Yeah. I don't feel like I need to do that.
Okay, fair enough. I had to shout that out though. Just had to shout out a little bit. My Kings are 16-23, 10th in the West.
Right where you thought.
Right where I thought. I'd mention that every time.
Right.
And they host Atlanta tonight. Not liking that because Trae Young is playing like a man possessed.
Yep.
Looking like Diet Steph Curry, like I've always said. Also,
they're not. The Hawks have not been as good as I think a lot of people thought they would be, but it's still not even halfway point of the season. So
I think Trae Young's averaging 28 a game right now.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's
up there.
He's playing really well.
The Sharks, however, stink. Unfortunately,
still gotta rep them though.
Still love the Sharks. They did win their first 2 games of this past week, both in overtime. Follow that up with 2 absolutely atrocious performances, losing 8-5 against Pittsburgh, and then 6-2 last night in Detroit. 14 goals allowed in the last 2 games.
Not great.
No bueno.
Not great.
They are still 17-16-1, so not 500. 6th in the Pacific Division, which is not good enough because that will not get them in the playoffs.
No.
But plenty of season left.
Yes.
We'll be at Buffalo tomorrow, who's a dumpster fire of an organization right now.
So you know what that means, right?
W.
Sharks are probably gonna lose.
Right. And that's our local sport.
Yes.
College football?
We're planning on going to a Sharks game, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Plan on.
I'm gonna put that in the request off soon.
There you go. It's a Sunday, so I already have those off.
There you go. So moving on to college football, we'll talk about a couple big bowl games before we get to the college football semifinals, which sucked. But we'll start with the Rose Bowl, which was a very entertaining game.
It was an awesome game.
Ohio State 48, Utah 45.
Ohio State trailed 14 at the half. I pretty much watched this whole game.
I think they trailed by 14 3 different times in this game.
This was the best college football game or best
bowl game
I've seen in the season for sure. I mean, what sucks for Utah, who played great, and let me tell you, the Utah Utes logo on the helmet with the rose. Did you see that?
Oh, they put a rose on it?
They put a rose on it.
Oh, that's cool. Instead of the feather?
Yeah, it's pretty. No, they're Thunder?
No, Feather.
Oh, Feather.
Yeah.
Oh, they put the rose right there.
Okay, that's cool.
Really
that's
cool,
cool.
really cool touch. And there's teams in the past who have done that, but it was just really cool to see.
Yeah, nice.
And I think even Ohio State this year, but you couldn't really notice, is their red stripe that goes down. If you looked really closely at it, it had roses in it.
Oh, really? Nice.
So that's cool. I think Utah would have won this game if their quarterback didn't get concussed, which was a really scary play. I don't know if you saw it. He went totally stiff.
I had half an eye on this game at work, but
he just got kind of tackled and head hit off the turf.
Yeah.
And he just did like the stiff one of these.
Oh yeah.
He was able to walk off on his own power, which is nice, but he wasn't able to finish the game.
Yeah.
But big shout out to, I think, true freshman quarterback who came in. Don't remember his name, but he played pretty well enough to where
kept him in the game. Yeah. Because they had to tie the game late before Ohio State drove down and kicked the game-winning field goal. But and C.J. Stroud, who was a Heisman finalist, huge game, 573 yards passing, 6 touchdowns.
But come on, the person of the night, Jackson Smith.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Njigba.
Njigba, thank you. 15 receptions, 347 yards receiving, and 3 touchdowns.
347.
That's something out of Madden.
That's unreal. It really is.
It's a Rose Bowl record.
347.
At least the yardage is a Rose Bowl record.
Yeah, yeah.
That is an insane stat. That's a career stat line. That's insane.
Yeah. And I think Marvin Harrison Jr. had 3 touchdown catches also, which are like the first 2 teammates to have 3 touchdowns in the same game or something.
Shout out to Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, can you believe that Marvin Harrison has been playing that long to where his son's going to be in the NFL soon?
I feel like, I mean, we saw most of his career,
yeah.
As in our adult lives.
Yeah, I mean,
or not adult lives, but our, football watching lives, anyways.
347 yards receiving.
That's crazy. That's a fucking number. Like, to have that many yards passing in the game is really good. Mm-hmm. And then just one receiver having all of those yards.
So 15 for 347. You're more of the math whiz on the show. What is that roughly per?
That's over 20 yards a catch. That's super. That's 23 yards actually.
Does that say something about Utah's defense? It has to, right?
I mean, they were watching this. So I watched the first half, I think, here at home, and then the second half at work, which I didn't really get to pay attention as much. But there were just seemed to be big play after big play on both ends of the field. So I mean, that's ridiculous.
And something about the Rose Bowl.
It's iconic.
I think the Rose Bowl should always be the national championship.
Right. It does, yeah. I mean, I guess I would take away from the tradition of it being a Pac-12 versus a Big Ten matchup, but but yeah, it does seem to produce a lot of good games. I mean, it's just I'm thinking about even when it was a semifinal game when Oklahoma played Georgia. Do you remember that game? Mm-hmm. That game was amazing.
Yeah, Nick went to that game.
Yeah, went to like double overtime maybe. Yeah.
That it's just something about just the LA vibe, and it's I feel like it's
an iconic.
Exactly. To me, I always get that in the LA Coliseum mixed up.
Fair. Yeah.
But the Rose Bowl it's just classic.
Rose Bowl is great. Yeah, I've been to a couple myself, and they were pretty awesome.
Like if I were a college football player and I didn't make it to the national championship game, like being on that kind of team.
Oh, right.
And if I played in the Rose Bowl and we won, I'd be like, you know what, that's good enough.
Pretty good consolation.
Like if my team won the Fiesta Bowl, it'd be cool.
It doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't feel the same. No. Like the Rose Bowl is just one of those games that's just big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of the Fiesta Bowl, that's another game we're going to highlight. Oklahoma State with a big comeback win over Notre Dame, 37-35. Trailed by 21 in the second quarter. Mm-hmm. This was a wild game also.
I was in and out of my terrible hangover watching this game, but I was paying attention for the most part.
1,156 total yards by these two teams. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
61 first downs. Jeez. That means the chains are just rolling. Whoever's working the chains that day is like getting a workout.
They got 20,000 steps in that day.
Right.
You know what I found interesting about this game? Oklahoma State won.
Yeah.
Their coach, Mike Gundy's been there for a long time. He claimed that this was the biggest win.
I heard him say that too.
In Oklahoma State history.
I heard him say that too.
And maybe it's because they played Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's like the ultimate brand.
They do have a huge brand.
But if anyone were to know, it'd be him. Because he's been there for so long.
Right.
Because what else has Oklahoma State really done? They've always been the little brother of Oklahoma.
Yeah. And Texas for that matter.
They're not even the most known team in their state.
Right.
So but I don't think it's that far-fetched.
You know what's funny? When he said that, it made me think of when Oklahoma State beat Stanford in the Fiesta Bowl like 8 years ago, or whatever that was.
Is that
Andrew Luck's last year?
Is that when Shank Williamson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I think of. I think that one went to overtime because he missed that field goal. Yeah. But
I think the Notre Dame factor had something to do with it.
100%. Yeah.
Also, really random. Oklahoma State's post game champion hat or winning hats.
I didn't see them.
They're pretty clean.
Really?
I say they're pretty clean.
Yeah,
weren't that bad. And the semifinal games were duds, like they always are.
Terrible.
Alabama beat Cincinnati 27-6, and it's.
Bama just ran all over them. Cincinnati could not move the ball.
No.
I mean, Bama had 300 yards rushing.
Yeah, and the other game, Georgia beat Michigan, which was also
a terrible game.
How did Michigan manage to get 11 points?
They scored a touchdown late and then went for 2.
Well, okay, because the 11's an odd number.
Right.
Georgia beat them 34-11.
Yeah.
Georgia had 521 total yards against Michigan 328. Michigan also had 3 turnovers, which doesn't help.
Yeah, the box score tells the whole story. I mean, it was ugly from the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia was just moving the ball with relative ease. Mm-hmm. So
there's two things I really want to mention about the college football playoff.
Sure.
They should not expand. They should not expand them to like 8 teams.
Okay.
And do you think Cincinnati getting in as a non-Power 5 and getting smoked, does that hurt the non-Power 5 conferences trying to get into the college football playoff?
That's a fair point. I think.
Or do you, I guess what I'm asking is, do you think the committee will look down from here on out at teams that aren't Power 5s trying to get in?
I think it was an unprecedented year because Cincinnati went undefeated. Like, we saw UCF go undefeated recently, right?
Remember Marshall went undefeated, or they almost did, I think.
I think they ended up losing their last game, right?
So they went for 2 or anyways.
Yeah. So we saw UCF go undefeated, and you could argue it was a similar kind of team to Cincinnati in its undefeated season. Yeah. But they were more Power 5 teams with good quality resumes that year than there were this year.
Yeah.
A lot of, Cincinnati was the only undefeated team, so that tells you half of what you need to know.
Did you see who they played, though? I looked through who they played.
They did beat Notre Dame, which is huge.
That's like their only win.
Fair.
But
but they did beat Notre Dame, who the committee thought of highly as well. So you have to put them in over Notre Dame, who Notre Dame was ranked 5th.
But I guess you could say the same thing about Alabama not playing a great
non-conference schedule.
Well, yeah,
it's tough. The thing that the frustrating thing about this whole college football season is, we thought maybe there was some parity this year because we saw all these teams lose 1 or 2 games that we would think would be in the hunt at least. And yet the SEC still is number 1, without question.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah,
those are the 2 best teams by far. I mean, I think Michigan deserved to be in this game, and they got spanked. And Cincinnati deserved to be there, and they got spanked also.
And I think that's a good point because it's just SEC heavy because they're just so above and beyond better than everybody else, it seems.
Yeah. It's
like you could expand it to 8, 12. They probably would be 12, but you could do that.
But they're talking about 12.
But when it comes down to it, it's still gonna be probably 2 SEC teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think
unless you catch somebody with like an injury or catch them on like the off day that they're playing.
Right. Which I think that's probably what they would be hoping for, to some degree.
I think the way they're doing it right now is perfect. It's still imperfect.
I think it would either have to be you absolutely expand or you go back to just 2 teams playing for the national championship and skip this nonsense because we haven't seen good semifinal games.
If you go back, I probably have it written down in my notes.
Like that Georgia-Oklahoma game is like maybe the only semifinal game I can remember that was close.
Mm-hmm. There's always at least one blowout.
Yeah, at least one blowout.
Always at least one. It always seems like that's the Pac-12's game that gets blown out because they suck.
Right. I would love to see an expansion for the fact that gives you more games between teams that you wouldn't normally see that are highly ranked, whether they deserve to play for a national championship.
So to me, are you trying to say it's more of a money grab than it is anything?
Money and interest and entertainment. I mean,
like come to our school, you might be able to make it to the college football playoff.
I think that also is huge. I think that could maybe draw kids to go to schools outside the SEC because they're not just. SEC isn't the only conference that gives you a chance to win a national championship.
Right, that's a good point.
The other thing is college football needs to think of some way, maybe it's reducing scholarships for football or something to give other schools a chance to compete. Because you can't give out 85 scholarships and expect every team to be able to be competitive.
It's tough because Alabama, I think, has been to the championship game the last 7 years.
Something stupid like that.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, pretty much since Nick Saban's first one, we've just been talking about Alabama.
Yeah.
They also almost never had an off year.
Also, another big name coach I wanted to mention is your boy Jim Harbaugh. Just he made it there, kind of made it there.
Yeah, he got to the playoffs. Beat Ohio State.
And I know Georgia's a tough opponent to beat, but
I mean, let's face it. Michigan, on paper, probably did not have even close to the kind of athletes that Georgia does.
No.
Georgia, you could argue, has the best team on in college football. So
it's Jim Harbaugh's 5 straight bowl game loss. Yeah.
Ouch.
He won the Citrus Bowl in 2015, and after that hasn't won anything since.
Yikes.
So not looking good for your boy Jim there.
Bears, here he comes.
He's going with the Cowboys.
He's going with the Bears.
I'm hopping back on the Jim Harbaugh Cowboys train.
It's not happening.
No, he's going with the Colts. And then Andrew Luck is going to join him.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck's going to call Jim Irsay and be like, yo, I'll come back under one condition. I get my old coach back, and we run it back.
If Andrew Luck's coming back, he's coming to the Niners.
Okay. Okay, can we cut?
Yeah, and that's the episode.
Can we cut?
Good to see you in 2022.
Yes. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. So Georgia-Bama, National Championship in Indianapolis next Monday. Who you got?
We're on with the Tide, baby.
I'm
going Alabama.
I'm a little surprised Georgia's a 3-point favorite. I mean, that's not a huge number, obviously.
I'm a little surprised, too.
But I think maybe the Vegas experts are kind of playing into they got to beat them again kind of thing.
Like twice in 1 year, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, especially twice in like 5 weeks, essentially. So I think Alabama's going to win too. I will not be shocked either way. I can see, but the Nick Saban versus Kirby. I feel like he's got Kirby's balls right now.
It's like that's his son. You know what I mean?
It really is.
Like he's his daddy.
Yeah. So Kirby might have to wait his turn.
In all seriousness, I don't really care who wins. I just want a good game.
I would prefer to see Georgia win, but I don't give a fuck. Like the fact that we're seeing this matchup for like the 4th time in the last few years is not sexy at all.
No. But that's the college football playoff.
That's college football for you.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. So
I just want a good game.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to have fun.
I'd like to see it come down to a final play like it did a few years ago. That would be fun.
That
was pretty epic.
I think that was third and long.
Yeah, they got sacked and they were going to be out of field goal range.
They got sacked on 2nd down.
Yeah, it was like 3rd and 20.
He was out of field goal range.
Yeah,
and he just throws a dime to it was Devontae Smith.
Devontae, yeah, before he was a stud.
Yeah, that game. I remember watching at Nick's house, and I remember that play happened, and Nick was just like,
"What the fuck?"
He's like, "Seriously?"
Yeah.
He's like, or I think we're all just like, "That just happened."
Yeah.
A walk-off tutty to win the Natty.
Thank God Deshaun Watson beat Alabama once.
You mean Hunter Renfrow?
True. All right. You got anything else about college football?
I do not.
I guess I'll finish my beer before NFL too.
Yep. Because I'm gonna need it. All right, so some NFL news or scores. Raiders beat the Colts 23-20, which was a big win for the Raiders. Chargers Raiders next week. Winner goes to the playoffs. Who you got?
I think I'm gonna not take the Raiders.
I'm not gonna take the Raiders. I never take the Raiders.
Okay, I thought about this because I was gonna say we're probably gonna have to take a winner on this. And I wanted to say, well, the Raiders have been very famous for letting their fans down over the last 20 years, right?
And you think this?
But so have the fucking Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers probably worse.
Probably worse.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But I'm still taking the Chargers.
Okay. I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see the Raiders win for their fan base. They deserve it. But
do they?
Maybe not.
No,
but,
they do. They do.
Yeah, but I think the Chargers are gonna win.
Ooh, also before we get deeper into this, saw a little nugget of information last week after our last episode about John Madden.
Sure.
He went to Cal Poly. Do you know that?
I did not know that. I know he's got like some California roots for sure. But
and I don't really claim Cal Poly, but it's not close to us. But
it's more. I think it'd be considered SoCal. Yeah.
I've just been to Cal Poly, so that was kind of cool. Like I've
been to the campus.
Like I didn't go to college at Cal Poly. It's not good. You didn't? Do I look like I went to Cal Poly?
You ever know?
No, I didn't. But another shout out to John Madden.
Yeah.
Just had to mention that real quick.
So good luck to the Raiders.
Yeah.
See you next year.
I'm still bitter about that Thanksgiving loss. I can't root for the Raiders.
Fair enough.
Can't do it.
Fair enough.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
You go for it.
So 49ers, they got the win this week. Trey Lance got the start. 23-7 victory.
Yes.
It was an interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
Trey had a rough start to the game. Played much better in the second half. Made some plays. But, as you can see, I'm trolling today with my number 10 jersey.
I love it.
I want to start by saying I am fully in support of the Trey Lance movement to him being the guy of the future, and maybe most likely next year, which is fine. But let's not get it twisted. He's not the guy right now.
No.
Jimmy's still the guy right now. And if you guys are going to get all juiced up about that 45-yard touchdown pass to Deebo Samuel, watch the replay and see how much of a duck that pass was on its way to Deebo's hands. Fine, yes, he completed it, but still, that was not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, so don't pretend it was. But, yeah, I think it was pretty clear, especially in the first half, that he was not reading the field very well.
No.
I mean, he threw a pretty bad pick, and he owned up to it in the press conference. But I think it's Jimmy gives the Niners the best chance this year. Will either of them get them to the Super Bowl? No, I don't think so.
Trey Lance won't.
Trey Lance, I'm pretty sure he definitely won't.
He won't.
Yeah, pretty sure he definitely will not.
Rookie Super Bowl, it doesn't go together.
It's not going to work. But I am excited for the future with Trey. But Jimmy gives the Niners the best chance right now. And y'all are going to have to accept that. He's going to play on Sunday against the Rams.
And they're going to lose. And you guys are going to be out of the playoffs.
And it's not going to matter anyways. But, yeah, it's Jimmy's time right now, so just let it be.
Kyle Shanahan does kind of own the Rams, though. You never know.
He does, a little bit. I'm not gonna put my chips on the table for this one, though. So, yes, Niners at Rams this week. Fucking do or die situation, essentially. Because I don't expect the Falcons to beat the Saints.
So. Give me a score of this game. Of the Rams.
Heartbreaker.
Dreammaker.
Yeah. Heartbreaker 24-20.
Ooh.
Yeah.
With a
It'll be the Niners will have the ball at the end too.
Late game Jimmy Garoppolo pick to end the season.
It'll be 4th and something, and it won't be a pick. He'll just throw an ugly incomplete pass.
Also, how much do you love having the playoff picture go down to the last game of the season? It sucks, right? I've been there many times. It's not nice. It's bad. It sucks.
At the same time, though,
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it will be. At the same time, my thoughts are, well, the 49ers fucked this up by blowing that game to Tennessee, so they deserve to be in this position. And they probably are not a Super Bowl caliber team anyway, so what the fuck does it matter? But yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nerve-wracking because I mean, you always just want to get to the playoffs and see what happens, right?
You never know.
You really never know. Unless you're the Bears of last year, you knew they weren't going to do anything.
If you're playing, you got a chance.
You got a chance. Yeah.
Unless you're the Dallas Cowboys, because they
never have a chance?
No, they don't. So the Cardinals beat the Cowboys 25-22. I'm sure everyone heard about this because it's always a joke when the Cowboys lose. I was mad after this game. I was very mad. But I told myself, Gage, you can't get too mad. You know why? Because when we did our predictions, for every team, I knew the Cowboys would lose this game. Yeah. I knew they were going to lose, so I picked the Cardinals to win, which we'll get to in a little bit. Also, Kyler Murray, 9-0 at AT&T Stadium in his career, including high school and college.
Oh, because he played like some state championships.
So you know what that means. The Cowboys are naturally probably going to play them in the playoffs somehow. At home, which means Kyler Murray is going to beat them. Also, so I've always said Aaron Rodgers has kind of always owned the Cowboys, always beats them, right? Kyler Murray is now
the new Aaron Rodgers.
No, well, he's also at that same level.
Getting there.
He's also there,
neck and neck.
Whenever the Cardinals play the Cowboys from here on out, Kyler Murray's probably going to win 90% of those games. I don't give the Cowboys any chance to beat the Cardinals. I'd rather play the Rams than the Cardinals. I think the Rams are a better team. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
but I'd rather play the Rams.
If you're going by the psychology aspect.
This game, it was. I don't even know what to say. I really don't.
So real quick though, how many times has Kyler Murray beaten the Cowboys?
I don't.
It can't be more than a couple.
He's beat them. They beat them last year or maybe 2 years ago. I think it was last year. They embarrassed them at home.
Okay.
Or at AT&T.
Yeah, probably without doubt. Right?
The Cowboys might have beaten them once in Arizona.
Okay.
But it just seems like whenever Kyler Murray beats them, it's at home.
feels comfortable in his home state.
God, Kyler Murray's good.
He's very good.
He's good. It sucks when you watch him play and you watch Dak Prescott. You can just tell who the superior quarterback is. It's not even close.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray is he's just all around better player.
I think if you told the guys you are not allowed to leave the pocket, I'd probably give the edge to Dak.
Yeah,
but
the only thing that Kyler has over Dak or the only thing Dak has over Kyler is the height, and the shoe deal. That's pretty much about it. It's the only thing Dak has over Kyler because Kyler is just that much better.
Yeah,
and what's even worse for the Cowboys is the Cardinals were down players in this game. This game could have been a lot uglier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this game could have been a lot uglier if AJ Green would have reached out for one of the passes that would have been probably a walk-in touchdown, but he just didn't for some reason. The Cowboys just seem to lose the big games. They played 3 what I think are championship-level teams this year. Bucks, Chiefs, Cardinals, and they lost all of them. They lost all of them by a short margin, I'll give you that. None of them were blowouts.
You got to find a way to
win. But nonetheless, they lost. Yeah. These are losses. If these were all playoff games I'm talking about against these teams, Cowboys would be gone.
Yeah, I saw an interesting stat the other day too, and it was the Cowboys are 5-0 against the division.
Of course,
6-5 against everybody else. So kind of pedestrian.
And it just hasn't seemed like Dak has been the same since that calf injury.
He really hasn't. Patriots. Yeah, he really hasn't. It's hard to, who knows if it's actually the injury or if he just hasn't gotten back in a rhythm or what. But you're right. He has not been the same.
Also, I want to mention Michael Gallup out for the season.
Done for the year. That's a tough one. It's 11.
Towards ACL or MCL, ACL, one of those two.
Yeah.
He also caught the touchdown pass still on that play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it's pretty wild.
Kind of weird. Like, I don't think I could do that. You know what I mean? Well, what it boils down to is the Cowboys are going to lose their first playoff game. They're going to become a meme for yet another year, and it's just going to happen all over again next year. There's nothing the Cowboys could do to change this. There's nothing. They're cursed. I am convinced at this point they are a cursed franchise. They're cursed. Jerry Jones signed a deal with the devil back in the early '90s, and now he's paying desperately for it. That's just how it is. The Cowboys are not going to win their first playoff game. They're just not. They're not even going to win next week. They're not going to beat the Eagles.
They don't need to, though. Well, I mean, obviously they don't need to make the playoffs, but I mean, there's not a ton on.
But they still want to win. I think they can still not be the 4 seed.
I think they maybe
a lot of things would have to happen.
Yeah, correct.
But they're still going to play. They're still going to play their starters against the Eagles, and they're probably going to play the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And also, Micah Parsons went into COVID protocol. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that's just nice. I mean, if he misses this game against the Eagles, it's fine.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't miss the playoff game. But it's not going to matter because the Cowboys are going to lose that game anyways.
Yeah.
So, all right. I guarantee it. I guarantee the Cowboys won't win their first playoff.
You sound like the fucking Men's Warehouse guy.
What is it? Joseph A. Bank? No, it's Men's Warehouse.
Yeah, Men's Warehouse.
Joseph A. Bank.
I guarantee it. All right. I want to say this. I'm a little sad that the Cowboys lost because after they lost to the Raiders and you were, just in a ball of misery.
I was bad.
I said something sarcastic, and I said it was a sarcastic scenario of what if the Cowboys won out, and they were very close to winning out from that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they won their next 3 after that.
Well, they won, I think 5, 4, at least 4. At least 4. Because I think 4.
It was just I saw it coming. Cardinals at home, it's a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of set up. I kind of regret picking them, but. I mean, they had been playing well, but coming off that huge win over
they were going to come out lazy.
The football team.
They did.
Yeah. And the Cardinals are a good team, so got to tip the cap at some point, too.
Also, Trayvon Diggs. Do not put his name in the Defensive Player of the Year category.
I saw him get burned bad.
As a corner, he's let over 1,000 yards receiving against him.
Really?
Which is, I think, is the most in the league.
Fuck. Because he's just jumping routes all the time.
Yeah. Which means,
he should just be doing double moves on him every fucking play.
Which means people aren't afraid to throw at him, which...
Yeah. Which is probably why he has as many picks as he does.
Exactly. Yeah. So, that wasn't Thanksgiving-level rant.
No. Definitely not.
Wait till the playoff game. Wait till Kyler goes 10-0 in that stadium, and then it's really over. And then my dreams are crushed. The Cowboys are not a Super Bowl-level team. They are just not.
I agree with you.
And remember a few years ago after Joe Burrow won the Natty? I said, trade Dak and Zeke right now for the first pick to get Joe Burrow. Am I looking crazy now? Am I looking crazy now? Tell me.
No.
Because Zeke, where is he?
Yeah.
He's on the back of a milk box. I don't know where he is.
They need to cut ties with him next year, I think. He hasn't been awful this year, but it's not worth what he's doing.
I'm just telling you, if they would have traded Dak and Zeke for Joe Burrow and had Burrow and like Tony Pollard, we'd be fine right now. We'd be fine.
Yeah. Do you think the Bengals go for that though?
Back then?
Yeah. Maybe.
They would go for it. They wouldn't go for it now, but they go for it then. Yeah. I think I don't think it's that far fetched of a trade offer.
I mean, that would have been a wild trade offer because you'd be like, "Whoa, what are you doing, Cowboys?" kind of thing. Like that's a lot to give up.
I remember saying that in our group chat. I remember Max, who's a Cowboys fan, was like, I was just telling my dad that a few minutes ago. Yeah. Like, trade Dak and Zeke for Burrow.
Joey B's looking like the man. All right, couple of notes. We got to talk about. Okay, I think we made a vow a while back to not mention this guy's name anymore on this show, but we can't not talk about what Antonio Brown just did in this game this week.
Yeah.
So apparently he was asked to go in the game by the coaching staff, and he told them no because he was hurt. And so they said, all right, then you're not a Buck anymore. And he left the field in prime fashion, taking off his jersey and pumping up the crowd on his way to the locker room.
I think my favorite conspiracy from this whole thing is that he had a lot of incentives when it comes to like receptions, receiving yards the next two games, and he'd make, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
And I like the idea of him not being able to go in, but wanting to go in for those incentives, and they're freaking out and leaving. I don't think that's the case, but I like that idea.
Oh, it's actually the other way around.
Yeah, like he wants to get in. They're like, no, but he's like, I need my money.
Right.
And they wouldn't let him. I don't think that's what it is. I've heard it's like an ankle thing.
Yeah, he's been dealing with an ankle injury. He actually almost didn't even suit up for this game.
The whole thing is strange.
Yeah.
And then I think from now on, or at least in my opinion, he's always going to be one of the ultimate what ifs.
Yeah.
Because he was on a Hall of Fame.
He did have. I mean, you could say he's still a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in.
It might take him a little while longer, but I think people will realize that he was an unbelievable player.
I think was he like a third round pick?
Yeah, he was not like super high.
He wasn't a first round pick. I know that.
Yeah. The thing I saw something interesting because shortly after it happened, there was all this banter on Twitter about him, trashing him and whatnot. And then after that news came out that he was actually injured and the whole situation.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Oh, you guys need to apologize to this man," and I'm like, "No, he's still a clown. Like he's been doing bullshit. Like regardless of what happened in this instance, he's been doing bullshit for his whole fucking career, and he deserves every bit of trash that he gets at this point." I'm not, he's got mental issues probably.
He certainly hasn't helped himself, and I think the man needs.
He needs
professional help.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't just keep doing this over and over again and expect to get me to say sorry for this guy or feel sorry for this guy.
I don't really feel sorry for millionaires off the bat.
Exactly. That's another great point.
So I feel sorry for the Buccaneers and their fan base. I think more than anything else.
They could use him, man.
I almost feel bad for Tom Brady. Almost. I don't. Almost.
Fuck no. I mean, I love Tom. He's been a legend in our career. But
you love Tom?
Well.
I don't love Tom.
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't love Tom, but he's been a legend.
Well,
you can't deny that he's been a legend.
No, he's the best ever.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you. I know what you mean, but
But I definitely don't feel bad for Tom.
It's just Antonio Brown. He's a different dude.
He's a
different dude.
Wired differently for sure.
And luckily for him, he has generational wealth to where he could afford to do this and still not have to work for the rest of his life.
Right.
So. That's probably he's probably like, you know what, I can leave.
Yeah.
And do you think he gets signed ever again?
I kind of don't think so. Interesting thing is the Bucs haven't officially released him yet, but I'm sure it will happen after this next week.
I'm calling it right now. He's going to the USFL and he's tearing it up.
Yeah. No, I think he's done with football.
You think so?
I think if he's smart, he just calls it. Doesn't.
It's a hell of a way to go out.
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl last year.
Honestly, the way he was going out made it look like he was like, "Peace out, NFL.
Yeah.
See ya."
Done. See ya.
Yeah. That was pretty entertaining. Good job, Antonio.
So did you watch that Monday night game? Big Ben's final home game? Supposedly?
Well, I tried to, but Mountain Mike's was depriving me.
Ooh.
No, we watched it at Frida's. Yeah, Big Ben was just really lighting it up. Congratulations on playing your final home game. That's an assumption, of course, but
I hope so.
I think it's pretty well stated that he's done. He went. He threw 46 passes for a grand total of 123 yards. Wow,
that's a lot.
So I was looking at the box score, and he had, so that stat line equated to 2.7 yards per attempt. Najee Harris, on the other hand, carried the ball 28 times at a 6.7 yards per carry clip. That had been more than twice as effective just handing the ball off to him every time instead of Ben throwing the ball.
And this game sounds like it was terrible, but it was actually close towards the end. The Browns had a...
Fairly, yeah.
The Browns, for some reason...
Suck?
No, well, that too. They kicked an onside kick where I didn't think they had to. I think they had 2 timeouts left.
And some time.
And I thought they should have pinned them deep.
I mean, sometimes you got to think of, like, there is time going down, so you might as well maybe give yourself 2 chances.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what you're saying.
I'm not a head coach, so... So, let's be mature about this. When you think of Big Ben, what do you think of? Like, for his career?
One of the best players in Steelers franchise history.
Yeah.
I think one of the better quarterbacks of our generation.
I always think of Big Ben because I think the first Super Bowl I ever really watched all the way through was that first one against the Seahawks.
Definitely one of the first that I can remember.
Like watching all, like being like wanting to watch
and,
it.
Yeah, and being aware.
Yeah, I remember being in Eagles' house watching it.
Yeah. And good points.
Went to 3 Super Bowls. Almost won 3. Almost went 3 for 3.
Right.
3 for 3. Almost beat Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Which I think the Steelers had the ball.
They had the ball with a chance to win or tie.
I think they were down by 6 and they had a chance to take the lead by, or score a touchdown, kick a field goal.
I feel like, did he throw a pick on that last drive, or they maybe turned it over on a
I think if I did put money on it, I'd say turnover. But he was good quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like he was
Hall of Famer.
Very, very successful. Like they won big games. Obviously, won a couple Super Bowls, but never would I think of him as like, because we also had Peyton Manning and Tom Brady in the same era, who were both more successful than he was.
Of course.
So he's kind of he's right below there. And Drew Brees is probably in that same conversation.
I was gonna say, is Drew Brees? Did you put Drew Brees above
Ben? Yeah.
What about Eli?
No.
Okay. Well, Eli still got those 2 rings though.
Eli's cute, but no. Yeah, give me Ben all day over Eli. Big Ben was just like fucking rugged and just not a typical quarterback.
He's huge.
He's a big.
He kind of reminds me of Danny. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no disrespect.
Yeah.
He's big men.
He's like a defensive lineman playing quarterback.
Yeah. So Big Ben, if that was it, good riddance.
Yeah. Great career. Good riddance.
I'm just kidding. The Steelers.
I don't like the Steelers.
I don't like the Steelers.
No offense to anyone who roots for the Steelers, but don't like the Steelers.
No. Yeah. Don't like the Steelers at all.
No. All right. So we got 7 teams fighting for 3 remaining playoff spots. Niners and Saints, as we mentioned earlier in the NFC. Colts, Chargers, Raiders, Steelers, and Ravens in the AFC.
Ravens are still in it.
Ravens are still in it. They have to have a lot happen. Kind of similar with Pittsburgh.
So your Super Bowl pick is
still alive.
Did you pick them to win the whole thing? I'm actually asking. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I remember
I didn't know Lamar was going to miss half the fucking season with bullshit COVID and ankle injuries.
I remember you having them in there, but I remember you picked them to win the whole thing.
I picked them to beat Aaron Rodgers.
Damn, son, that's tough. Woo. Okay.
Yep. I'll be biting the bullet next week.
so out of the NFC, it's gonna sound crazy, really crazy.
Yeah.
I'd rather see the Niners make it because I think they have a better chance of making things.
Or they're a more legit playoff team.
Yeah. Fair. I can't take Taysom Hill seriously.
No, he's iffy.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I think and then NFC or AFC Colts are gonna beat the Jaguars.
Yeah.
There's no fucking chance they don't.
Well, there's a chance.
Obviously, there's always a chance.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for appeasing me.
And like I said, I think the Chargers are gonna beat the Raiders. So Colts, Chargers in the AFC.
Yeah,
most likely.
I agree.
Yeah,
for sure.
You got anything else from Week 17? I got a couple things.
Yeah, go for it. I don't think I do.
So, I know we mentioned Joe
Actually,
Burrow.
I do. Yeah.
We mentioned Joe Burrow last week.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals, huge win over the Chiefs. Comeback win over the Chiefs.
Yes.
34-31.
Joe Burrow's that dude.
Joe Burrow, 446 yards this week and 4 touchdowns. That dude's on a fucking mission. And also Jamar Chase is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. 266 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Remember, people were they were destroying the Bengals for
drafting him instead of Penei Sewell. Yeah,
it worked out.
It worked out. I mean, Joe Burrow has taken a beating again once again this year. I think they've given up. They're up there in sacks allowed, but it's worked out. They won the division,
which I did not see coming.
That division is upside down.
Yeah,
as far as what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously injuries play a huge part in what happens in the season in the NFL, but good job for the Bengals. I also want to trash the Giants really quick.
The New York Football
Giants, not the San Francisco Giants, because we don't do that unless they really deserve
unless they deserve it.
Negative 10 net yards passing in this game.
What does that mean?
So in the NFL, sack yardage goes against your team passing yards.
Okay.
So I think Mike Glennon had, I want to say, 24 yards passing in this game, and he had 34 yards of sacks against them. So negative 10 yards passing. Wow.
I never knew that. So sack yardages they minus it from your total passing yards?
For the team, not like the players' stats, but for the team, like in the box score. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
And in college, it goes against rushing, which I think it makes more sense to go against passing because if you get sacked, you're attempting to pass the ball. You're not attempting to run the ball. Right?
Yeah. Speaking of the NFC East, the Washington football team plans to change their name on February 2nd. Are you excited?
Are they really?
We don't know what it's going to be.
I didn't know they were actually going to do that.
Yep, football team is going to change their name on February 2nd.
I'm worried.
I just hope it's semi-decent.
I'm glad that they're changing it from football team because football team just doesn't have a good ring to it.
Like I said before, I'm okay with WFT as long as... I mean, I don't want the new name to suck.
Right.
I mean, because like
what you're saying.
Like we've also said, it's going to be weird saying it no matter what. So I think we're going to think everyone's going to think it's bad regardless.
Right. But I think given the history of sports in the United States is they all have a mascot, right? And I think it's easy to... we've been bashing them for just being called the football team, so they're going to get shit either way. Yeah, exactly. You might as well just join the crowd.
For me, I care more, I guess, because the Cowboys play this team 2 times a year.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, but it's still so easy to just say, "Oh, they lost to the football team," and that's a joke in its own right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they beat the.
If I were to take a guess, we're not going to like the name.
Probably not.
Probably not. So.
Because didn't they have a list of what they boiled it down to?
Yeah, remember the Armada, the car, the Nissan.
The Nissan Armada.
Yeah. Among other ones.
Right.
If they pick Armada, bro, I might have to buy a Nissan just off basic principle.
That's a division rival, though.
I'm not gonna buy a Nissan Armada. Is it Nissan?
I honestly don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah,
but
whatever the fuck it is. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Ready for top 6?
Ooh, are you?
So last week it's gonna be called the top 6. Next week's will be either the top 4 because it'll be the final week.
Oh, okay. So
right.
we'll know. Yeah. Do you want to start first?
Sure. I'm just going to make this simple. My top 3 are the same as last week because those teams all won. Packers, Rams, Buccaneers. Do you want to go ahead from there?
Mine's exactly the same too.
For top 3?
Yes.
Okay. 4 are changed, big time. I had the Cardinals at 6 last week. They moved into number 4 now.
Same here.
After a good win over the Cowboys.
Same here.
Okay. And then also... I had the Cowboys at 5 last week. They're now out of my top 6.
Same here.
I have the Titans with a win, moving up to number 5. I told you before the show that we're gonna have the same one.
Right? Do you have the Chiefs at 6?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
And we had the same last week too.
We did.
Honestly, I don't think you could see it any other way, given the who's beat who and what just happened this last week.
Yep.
So
it felt weird bringing the Titans back so high. I'm okay with putting the Cowboys down because they deserve it.
Right.
And that's not even me being a
petty or
The Titans, they're the top seed in the AFC right now. They deserve to be in the top 6.
Yeah. And
and the Cardinals have beaten the Titans.
Cardinals beat the Titans. Titans have beat the Chiefs.
Yes.
So I think it's pretty simple. And those teams all have 11 wins. Everybody else has 12 or more. Mm-hmm. Packers is at number 1 with 13-3 record. So yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, look at us.
I think that would be. If you just put those, it's funny that they're all from the NFC, but if you put those 4 teams in a playoff right now, that would be a hell of a
Packers, Cardinals, and Rams, Tampa.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
we get a rematch of Bucks and Rams. That would be nice. Interesting. And a rematch of Cardinals-Packers, which was a great game earlier this year.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, we're good doing our homework, so I guess I'm not too surprised.
Time to make our picks for the last week of the season.
Already?
Gage?
Already? Wait, you gonna shower me here?
Gage?
You gonna shower me?
Good job last week. 2-0. I went 0-2.
Fucking the Eagles got 4. They barely squeaked by.
Yeah. I was not even close on either of my picks. Jets made a run at the Bucks.
They almost beat the Bucks.
Yeah, and then not only did the Cowboys not cover 5.5, they lost, which you got that easily.
That's also back-to-back perfect weeks. So what am I in the rankings right now?
So you are 1 game behind me. You're 12-22. I'm 13-21.
Wow, look at that.
2 awful records, but we're still neck and neck.
Ooh, so
you go first this week.
I'm going to go first. I'm picking the Eagles over the Cowboys +7. I think
Eagles are getting 7. Yeah, I saw that.
You're telling me the Cowboys off of this loss at home is getting 7 points on the road against a playoff team?
We'll see. We'll see.
No way. The Cowboys, I mean, it's just not looking good.
I think they're probably betting on the rebound a little bit, but yeah, 7 points is a lot on the road.
I like that number. I think
because even if they
and it's a short week. They play on Saturday.
That's true. Yeah, Saturday game. That should be interesting.
My other matchup is going to be I'm picking the Jets over the Bills, and I picked mine yesterday, so it was 16.5 yesterday. 16.5. I checked today. I think it's 16 now. I know it's
which number do you want?
I'm picking. Well, I'll pick 16.5. It's a larger number.
Right. So plus 16.5 versus the Bills. All right.
So the Bills, that's a huge number. It was at 17, I think, like 3 days ago.
Really?
Which I was telling Devin, I was like, the Bills are favored by 17. What were the Bucks last week? 13?
13. I thought that was doable. I mean, the Jets have been so bad.
I mean, can you blame me for that Bills pick?
No, I don't blame
you. I mean,
you.
the Jets aren't great.
No.
And I think that it might be a home game for the Bills, which might.
I think it is, yeah.
The Jets played in cold weather. They're not really worried about that. I'm feeling foolproof this week. Watching them go and
see. All right. My picks have no logic behind them whatsoever. I'm just I'm putting the chips against myself on this one. I'm taking the Rams -4.5 against the Niners, and I'm also taking the Saints -4.5 over the Falcons.
I don't like that.
Which this could still burn me bad if the Niners only lose by 3 and the Saints win by 3. But
if somehow I come back and get you, you were getting me good early in the season.
I had you by like probably 4 games at the.
I don't think I was winning anything for a while.
Let's see.
Do you have it all up on there?
I have like so I had you by 3 games. I think 3 was the largest lead I had over you. Yeah, there was a few weeks that were at a 3-game lead over you.
All right, well.
But we've both been pretty pitiful at this. So.
I'm hoping next football season we're better.
We're gonna have to change how we do this. We can't be picking games on Tuesdays anymore. Too much shit that happens in practice.
Yeah, that's true.
Gage, what time is it? The last call of the new year.
Let's go. A lot of high fives today.
Right.
A lot of high fives today.
A lot of cheers.
Ooh, the first thing I want to mention is Becky Hammon. She got a deal with the Las Vegas Aces as their new head coach.
Nice. At WNBA team?
Yes.
Yeah. Sweet.
Make her the highest paid coach in WNBA history.
I hope, because she almost had an NBA job.
Yeah, and it's 5 years.
Nice.
I didn't get a number count.
It'd be interesting to see if she rides that whole contract out or if she takes it or tries to get an NBA job.
Well, I was thinking it's kind of lame because it's
almost like she's settled.
Well, she's clearly the best candidate to become a head coach in the NBA, and I think she could have.
Oh, I wouldn't say she's clearly the best, but she was a candidate.
Well, I guess
the best female candidate.
Yes, absolutely. The best female candidate to become the first ever head coach in the NBA. I think it wasn't even close.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was really considering it.
But I think also if you look at the other side, is she can get good experience as a head coach.
As an actual head coach, yeah.
You know, work her way up, and I think the Aces are pretty good.
Are they?
I don't know, but I know they have. Actually, they had the first draft. They had like a draft pick. I forget who it was, but she's pretty good. I'm really bad when it comes to this WNBA stuff. I just want to give her a shout out though, because that's really cool that she got a head coaching guild, the biggest one in history, which is very well deserving.
Good for her. I got a few. So I know we haven't talked about a lot of basketball because it's football season, like we mentioned earlier. But I got a few basketball things I want to throw out. Obviously, Kyrie Irving's returning to the court tonight for the first time this year.
As a part-time player.
As a part-time player. Road games only.
Unless it's in California.
Right. Also, I want to give a... Yeah, I don't know how that whole thing.
I don't know how it is in LA. I know how it is here.
Yeah. I also want to give out a shout out to the Chicago Bulls. They're on an 8-game winning streak. They actually have the best record in the East right now. 25-10.
The more I hear it, the more I like it.
Yeah, they're looking good right now. Kind of a team that we thought would rise a little bit based on the acquisitions they made, but not this much.
No.
And then I also want to give a shout out to Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to give a shout out to Kevin Love. So we know that he had some mental health issues, some depression. He's bounced back from that, and he's having his best year in quite a while. He's shooting a career best 43% from three. Wow. Over his last 6 games, averaging almost 24 points a game, shooting 50% from behind the arc. So congratulations! Honestly, he fell off the face of the earth.
How did you even realize that?
I was watching NBA TV the other day, and
That's probably one of the better shout-outs that we've had.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that was just... I totally thought that he was just like not a non-factor on that team. Mm-hmm. Which last year he kind of was. He didn't play many games, and he was not shooting the ball very well.
Because I think a lot of people just kind of figure that Kevin Love is just rotting in Cleveland.
Pretty much.
Because LeBron,
LeBron
left, Kyrie left.
Yeah, he pretty much was. But
I kind of give him kudos for sticking to it.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, he also signed a contract worth a good amount of money after those guys left.
And to me, Kevin Love, borderline Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think he'll be in the consideration.
Because, I mean, when he was young, he was really good.
Right, he was putting up numbers.
He was a double-double machine.
Yeah, I mean, he was
putting up like 50 and 20.
Yeah.
Or like he had a game where I think he put up like 50 and 20.
I think he had a year where he averaged over 15 rebounds a game, and he was scoring like 25 points a game.
So it'll be interesting, Yeah. I love talking about Hall of Fame talk. So
right.
I don't think he was deserving of the NBA 75.
Right. Was he on there?
No.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, I don't know.
Right.
I don't think he was that kind of caliber. I think he could still squeak in there.
Yeah.
Eventually, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm glad that the Cavs are finally relevant to some degree again while he's there. It didn't take for him to leave for that to happen.
Exactly.
So, good for him.
I also have one more shout out in the entertainment news, as a lot of you have heard. I think the whole world heard. Betty White, famous actress, comedian, all the above, died age 99 on New Year's Eve, I believe. I think it was the 31st.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Which, for me, kind of hit a little different because whenever I think of Betty White, I think of the Golden Girls. My mom loves the Golden Girls.
Okay.
And she had a great life, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it's not awesome that she passed away.
Right.
But, I mean, living to 99, what else could you want?
That's impressive, yeah. It's also unfortunate she didn't quite get to 100, which is going to be in a couple weeks.
But people got into this, did the math, and she lived through I think it's like 17 leap years.
Oh, shit.
So
you add
all the days up. She lived to 100 years.
Exactly 100. That's pretty cool.
So, on that note, I think it's only right I give my second shot cheers to Betty White.
There we go.
We love you, Betty. Did you ever watch the Golden Girls?
I can't say I did.
It's pretty funny. I don't think it's something you would probably love to watch, but
right. All right, first episode of 2022 in the books. Got anything else?
Just one more.
One more. Thank you all for watching and listening. We'll be back next week. Peace.